take it quick.
Yeah. Okay.
I've been feeling a lot of, well, a lot of emotions coming up, and it's really quite difficult because they're like really old, and I'm honestly kind of nervous, like
Mhm,
scared because
mhm.
things have been not as they would seem, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I'm kind of concerned about there's an aspect of myself, or
Mhm,
I don't that doesn't want to claim to be Christ consciousness. So I'm
mhm.
kind of feeling like that,
Yes.
I am like doing everything I can to stay strong in faith and, you know, strong in faith and strong in myself. And I'm going through health issues. I'm at a really great hospital right now, so I'm actually grateful for that. But um, yeah, I guess I'm not really sure what's happening because it feels like it's so overwhelming.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for being vulnerable and that powerful share and just being real, and just putting it out there because um it is not easy right now. There's no way around putting it. And I believe this just like eclipse energy has stirred the pot a little extra, and what Ray Allen, our resident, astrologer, is saying is that this is really going through the next solar eclipse in April. So we're kind of like carrying through. And from my take on the work that I do and the people I see, my perspective on a lot of it, of course, I follow the astrological and the energetics of what's presenting. And what I'm really feeling is happening, and I'm just watching it happen over and over again, is like we're dredging up this old wounding. We're dredging up the old patterns. Like anything that is holding us back from being in alignment with who we truly are, from transitioning into that next step of whatever you want to call it, liberation or acceleration or elevation. There's so many different words. Whatever is holding us back is coming into our face. And this is the season of ancestral work. And so as we are moving through things, one of the ways I'm being called to kind of do my work is there's a couple of different ways, and especially through meditation and everything, where what I'm being called to do is look at my reactions, but also really start to see where they really come from. And they can come from past lives and everything. I'm being a little more called to this lifetime and seeing where things are coming from. So that feeling of, there's an aspect of yourself that's still holding on. I've been experiencing that a lot lately. Like, why do I want to stay stuck in this pattern? Right? Why do I want to stay stuck in this particular like way I've mentioned this before. I have a lot of like control like issues. And I just texted Sherry before, like, hey, this is how, this and this. And Sherry's like, I got it. Don't worry. And it's just a reminder of like, whoa, I get to have some faith here and I get to let go and I get to, and I'm seeing how this is showing up in my relationships all the time. My relationship to control. And it's a core wound that I'm continuing to work through and continuing to catch. That even that interaction with Sherry this morning where she texted me, is like, don't worry, I got it, kind of thing, was like, I could have either really gone into like people pleasing, oh, but this and that, or I could have said, whoa, I took a step back and I was like, whoa, I really am not trusting. And I said, thank you, Sherry. This is an opportunity for me to trust. So there's and I'm witnessing that in a lot. And I'm witnessing like the things that we didn't face in our childhood coming up into our face, especially when the eclipse was last week and now we're hitting a lunar eclipse next week. There's so much that's being pulled up that it's just a constant reminder to look within. And when you are experiencing something like this, I know there's an aspect of myself that still wants to hold on. It's starting to ask the questions, show me. And if it means that like you're doing a mental piece right now, because that's where you're at, and you're just saying, show me universe, or show me my spirit team, show me, give me some more information, then that's where you're at. I'm even having like councils of conversations with my spirit team and other beings around, like even driving a car right now. There's like, I'm in a heightened sensitivity of everyone around that I'm just like afraid of getting into an accident. It's just the energies are so heavy out there that like I even have to like tell my spirit team, like, okay, you got to take over right now, because I just like, I'm going to drive, I'm going to stay conscious. However, like I need you to have my back right now. You know, my girls were driving late last night and they're, you know, teenagers. I had to say, okay, I had to connect with their spirit team as well as mine to be like, okay, you know, like take care of them, because I can't be the worried mother right now. You know, those sort of things. And I'm noticing like the ways that we are like, man, this is still coming up. This is still an issue. This is still, there's a time for everything, right? We think we work it and then there's another layer, or we're still in our suffering in a certain way until we're not anymore. And we can get very attached to what that looks like. Last night, I went to see Tina Turner, the musical. If anyone loves Tina Turner and her music, it was a beautiful, it was powerful, amazing woman who she's a powerful singer. And it was like telling her story. And if you know anything about her story, you know, she was in a massively abusive relationship with Ike Turner for 16 years. And the way they showed it, it was like she went from abusive childhood, mom abusing dad, dad abusing mom, like they would beat each other up, witnessing all that. Mom left her, and mom took one of her sisters and left her. And just left her. And then the father abandoned her. So she was raised by grandma. And then she went into this abusive relationship for 16 years. And then she walked out, supposedly like in a concert, just walked out one night, and then spent 5 years in Vegas, just like doing low level kind of concerts and stuff and trying to make a living, cleaning during the day and singing at night. Till finally one guy believed that they could change her image and make her this rock star. And that's what she really wanted. She wanted to do rock. And it was like, and what was coming up for me was like the patterns and the skeletons of the past kept on following her, right? She went from abusive childhood with the family to then with the marriage. And then she had to really find her voice and what she really wanted. But she had to get to a point where she had to leave. And then she had to get to a point where realizing this isn't working anymore for me. And now I got to change. And this is what I really want. And once she just declared, like, I really want to do rock, this guy came into the picture, this Australian guy, brought her to London, and then she started recording. No one would pick up her album until this guy came along, and then they like, you know, and then she just blew up. But it was like 20 something years of suffering and this and that. And it reminded me of, whoa, here's where I'm still locked in a pattern. And then last night I was analyzing and looking at myself, and I was like, wait a minute. Why am I still in this pattern? So my thing is control and money, right? So I'm still working on like my relationship to money. And I'm like, okay, I'm stuck here for a reason. And then I got to go into some deeper wounding. And then I found out like my parents went through the same thing I did. And so I'm breaking the ancestral patterns as well as my pattern. So I would advise you and encourage you, tune into your ancestors right now, tune into your father, tune into your mother, because what's underneath that is creating a new relationship with the divine masculine and the divine feminine that are really on the rise right now. I'm really tuning more into the divine masculine at the moment, because I've worked the womb space. I'm working the womb space a lot right now, but the divine masculine piece, look at the world we're in right now, war and this and that, and all the things that are happening. It's they're trying to become a balance here. And we're now moving into Scorpio energy, which means deep, right? Going deep within. And like what Destin, you're saying, it's like all this old stuff is coming up. It's coming up because your soul wants it to come up, to clear it out. Because we can't be these enlightened beings if we are still holding on. So I had a plan of going, of course, I always try to have a plan, and then it always gets, the energies come in differently. But I think really the way in is exactly what Destin brought forward, is around like the aspect of ourselves that want to stay in suffering or want to stay in a certain pattern, because we all have this. And it could be around our body, it could be around our health, like all the things I do and it's still not working. I'm still stuck in this. Or is it around a relationship piece? Is it around a behavior piece? So tuning into yourself and thinking about what aspect of myself is still like, where am I still locked in a pattern? And as we go into the activation and really start clearing energy, hold that space, because then I can really start to read the energies and start clearing it. But one of the things I'm going to have us do is call in our ancestors, because a piece may come forward for you around, oh my gosh, I'm still holding on to a pattern with my father. I woke up to a new level of understanding 2 weeks ago of how I still treat my husband like my father, how I still don't trust that man. And he is one of the most beautiful, loving men out there. And I was like, I still don't trust him because I never trusted my father and the way I was raised. So and that was another layer. It's like, oh gosh, I thought I cleared all this. So there's just more that's coming up. There's more and more that is coming up. Ooh, anyone want to share anything before we really start diving in and dive right into the activation? Here, if anyone has anything. Oh, and welcome Edna and Cindy as well. Good to see you, Edna. Anyone else want to share anything? And I'm trying to, I pinned myself, so I'm trying to see if anyone, just jump in if you have anything you want to share. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I turned off all my feelings and not feelings. I've been distancing myself from intimate relationships, and I'm not friends and family. I'm talking about lovers. So I haven't had one for a long time because I keep doing the same patterns. And then once again, out of the blue, I became attracted all of a sudden to a man who showed me kindness. And just because he showed me a little bit of kindness, and this totally unavailable, not like inappropriate. And so it was like hormones hit me and like a schoolgirl crush. And then I had to work through all those feelings again because I know it's inappropriate. But you're right with both my parents. They both, anyways, it comes from parents, both patterns of not being able to be yourself and not being able to have true love in your life and blah blah blah. So, the fear, of yeah. So you're right on about the ancestors. So
it's a good layer,
and I'm working.
Nice.
Oh my
gosh. It really is an important layer. It's an important layer because we have to let ourselves off the hook too, right? We got to do our work and we got to like own it and be responsible for the behaviors and patterns we have and what we want to shift and what we really want and how we're not accessing that, right? We got to do that. We also have to look at the bigger picture. Some of this wounding comes from past lives. Some of it comes from our ancestors. Some of it comes from dark forces that are still influencing us. There's all different things. But it feels very primed, like the energy is inviting us into the ancestor piece right now, like really significantly. And that looks differently for everyone. It may be just focusing on the parents right now, or you may be able to tune into not even knowing your great-great-grandparents, but you may be able to see a thread, a pattern that you realize, whoa, this really kind of goes back. And it could be even like the cultural stuff too. Like if your family came from from a certain country or something and they escaped something, or there's even that energy in it. There's energy of where we live, and there's still that we're working through. So there's a lot of influences, but I'm saying like because we need to kind of take it step by step right now, focus on really the ancestral piece, because that's what's primed right now, as well as like, well, trying to connect that to our patterns, really, and I'll share another quick story. And if you get annoyed with my stories, please just let me know. But Edna, I had a dear sister girlfriend who has not been in a committed relationship for 10 years. Right. And same kinds of trauma from mom and dad, lost mom young, or lost mom in college, but like she was the glue that held the family together, a challenging, controlling dad, all these things. And she would date all these guys online and this and that for 10 years. That 10 years, she would try to date these guys and they were all just like awful. Like they just wanted just sexual stuff from her and like didn't want anything from her. Right. And she's like, I am gonna keep on,
or your money or your house or whatever.
Yes,
just totally
yes,
inappropriate, not
yes.
loved, not one. And I think it's past life stuff too, combination, but
yes,
but totally. And so I've been in all really, I married my first husband was like my father. And then I had boyfriends, and then, they would love me, but wouldn't be in love with me. And they just wanted me for sex. And like, even a former acquaintance or friends with benefits approached me. Like, I just want to have fun. I'm like, no. And I'm trying to set boundaries. And then this hormone crap hit me all of a sudden. I blame it on hormones, like the love hormone. You get like, oh my God. I'm like, and so I know. So it's been a battle, and yes, and I know it's a combination probably of ancestors and past and all that combination, but yeah, I step by step is good.
Yeah. And that hormone piece, I mean, it's your body telling you something, right? Well, what recently happened with this girlfriend, I mean, up until like a couple weeks ago, really still attracting those guys, something shifted inside of her. And she said, from now on, if I go on dates, I'm going to be myself. I'm going to catch myself when I'm being inauthentic, and I'm going to declare what I want. And she did it, and she's found this remarkable man. And she kind of put aside some of the requirements she had. He had to look a certain way, and all those things. Now it's just this beautiful man who's someone she wouldn't normally date because he's a little older and he has a little more gray, but he still like fits a lot of the other criteria. But it's just she had to surrender. And she just sent me pictures. She's beaming. She's radiant right now. And I said, well, what has changed? She said, I'm not letting them dictate the date. I'm setting my boundaries. I'm creating and declaring what I want. I'm not trying to be and act in the way that I used to because I thought that's what I needed to get from the guys. Like that's what they wanted to hear. So she's doing it all like based on who she is. And now it's incredible results. So what she had to do is look into the patterns that were inauthentic, that were no longer serving her, that were not her. And so that's what we're doing here. We're doing like, okay, we have these patterns from our wounding, but they no longer serve us, or we wouldn't be on this call today. We wouldn't be doing this spiritual work. So there's still patterns, and every person around us is our mirror. We are sourcing, we are creating an experience with them for us to look at. So if it's a coworker, a disgruntled coworker at work, okay, well, how did I source that? Why is this coming up for me? Okay, there's something in it for me too. And that could be exhausting at times to like always constantly be thinking or connecting in this way. But the more you do it, the more you shift. And the more you take responsibility. So we're tuning into this, what aspect of ourselves are still holding on. This is going to get us pretty deep. Because I know there's an aspect of myself that really wants to still play this matrix game out there. And I'm continually having to ask the questions and go in deeper and realize, okay, there's still an aspect of myself that still wants to be in this feast or famine money situation. And I know it's not what I want, but obviously I don't want it big enough, because if I really wanted it big enough, I wouldn't be in this situation. So those are the things. Ooh. So Edna.
Ooh, okay, there's the question. Do I even want it big enough?
That's it. Because if you're fully committed, you're all in. Destin, your health. If you're fully committed, your body's going to tell you things. Your body is going to tell you things. And lately I've been working a lot with my body elemental. So what I do is I connect into the quantum. I set an intention to connect into the quantum. And I then set an intention to connect with my body elemental. So the intelligence of my body while I'm in the quantum. Being in the quantum is very powerful for me right now. And my body's talking to me now and telling me things like, no, don't eat that. No, you got to rest here. No, start tuning into your womb more. You got to, you got to feel this out. And my body's even reacting in ways and like, if I do decide to do something, like I had some peanut butter yesterday, not a good idea. I just was like, oh, I want to try it because I haven't done it in a while. And my body was like, okay, I told you so, but it's like, I'm starting to hear it now. So there's a lot of different tools we can use and ways we can play. We just have to be in possibility all the time and not be focused on the matrix of what's like the way it's supposed to look, but more like really tuning into ourselves to see however we want it to look, what's right for us. It keeps on going back to trusting, having faith, and believing in ourselves. And being in possibility and wonder and imagination, because we know, and you wouldn't be here if you didn't, we know there's a world beyond this 3D linear experience that we experience every day. We know it. We come in here and we go in our playground of going into the dimensional worlds and playing around with that and then discovering more aspects of ourselves. Whew. All right. Anyone else before we dive in? I'm happy that we built in a little more time too, so I'm not rushing as much to like get that activation and then having some processing time after. So we can dive in to the activation part. I would encourage you to get comfortable, get very comfortable and cozy. And here we go. So if you want the screen off, if you want, some people like eye masks, some people like to lay down, some people like to just sit up cozy, but just, going off screen for most people is more comfortable because you're not on the recording as your eyes are closed and all that. Good. Taking a few breaths in and out. And the way that you're called to do it, I just encourage, if you can, to breathe in through the nose. Whether you exhale through the mouth or through the nose, that's really up to you. It's that breathing in through the nose really starts to slow down and calm down the parasympathetic nervous system. Lately, I think because the energies have been more intense, I've been exhaling louder through the mouth, and that just feels good. Lots of sighs, lots of because it just feels like it's releasing energy. So just allowing yourself to get into the body. Getting connected to the breath. Bringing your awareness to your heartbeat. And if there is a call to feel your heartbeat by placing your hand on your heart, feeling your pulses, just allowing yourself to start to feel the heartbeat. For some of you, you want to take the step of bringing your awareness behind your eyes and down into your heart first. For others, getting into the heartbeat just reconnects you back inside your body right away. And as you start to connect with your heartbeat, you are connecting with your natural rhythms, your soul song, the rhythms of your body, the rhythms of your light body, your physical body. It's a tune, it's a tone, I should say. It's a tone that gets echoed out into the universe. So as you connect with your heartbeat, you are connecting with your truth, with a rhythm that represents who you are. Oh, beautiful. And as you are connecting with your heartbeat, allow it to expand throughout your entire body. So noticing, sensing the expansion of your heartbeat, feeling that rhythm throughout the body, going up to the crown of the head, down through the feet. Expanding, expanding, expanding through every cell in your body. And as you do this, if you are noticing resistance in a space in the body, breathe into that spot. You are shining light on that resistance. Noticing if there's any sensations that are arising, or noticing certain body parts that are lighting up for you or have your attention. Maybe you're being called to focus the heartbeat in one area of the body right now. And no need to analyze right now. Okay, this is why it's happening. Just notice it, observe it, bring that heartbeat to that area, breathe into that area. And what will start to happen is either the energy will start to dissipate or more data sets will come forward. What I'm getting for a lot of us is the throat. The throat is getting very activated right now. Our heartbeat is starting to share this throat piece, which feels connected to, and the data sets I get are connected to, where are we not speaking our truth? Ooh, there's like a dagger in the heart that's coming forward with a lot of you when I bring that information forward. Where are you holding back speaking truth? And for some of you, it's even, where are you not even seeing the truth? So as this is arising within us, I'm going to have us call forward our spirit team, our entourage, our crew, whatever you call this group of beings that you have been in co-creation with for a long time. It could be your guides, whatever you connect with that you serve in a co-creative relationship with. Yeah, I don't need to say any more about that. Just call them forward, call them forward. And if you're like, I don't know where they are, just set the intention to bring them forward. We don't always have to know and see. Yeah, good. So the container we are in is becoming one big party with lots and lots of guides coming forward. Yeah. And notice as that occurs, as you bring your spirit team forward, notice if there are any sensations that arise in the body, any thoughts or feelings or visuals that come forward as they present. Yeah, good. There's a release that's happening for many of you around, wow, they really do have my back. I'm safe. There's that feeling, even though we don't know what the world is going to bring our way, but there's this relief that I'm not doing it alone. Yeah, and what that's allowing is a grounding energy to come forward so we can call on the ancestors. So this grounding energy is kind of bringing us deeper within, but in a very comfortable, contentful way. And we're like really grounding in and going in, and it feels even like a sinking down into the earth. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Spirit team, for being here. Thank you, my entourage, for being here, for connecting with us, for being on this path. Ooh, this path of liberation. And I know this is for all of us. This is not one-sided. This is a co-creative experience that we're all in together because we are all here to liberate. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh, okay. I invite you to look towards your left. You can keep your eyes closed, but looking towards your left. And I'm going to invite in our ancestors, and we're going to start with the mother. And you can say this out loud, you can say this in your head, but I'm going to repeat this to call upon the ancestors. I call upon my mother and my mother's people, all the way back before time was time. I call upon my mother and my mother's people, all the way back before time was time. I call upon my mother and my mother's people, all the way back before time was time. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. And as they present, notice if there's any sensations that arise, emotions, feelings, physical sensations, visuals. Just notice what presents for you. You may notice some wounding when you think about your mother's people or your mother. You may just notice this sense of relief and joy or contentment that comes forward. Just notice what presents. So our container is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Since we are in expansion, it can just continue to grow and grow and grow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And looking towards your right, I call upon my Father and my Father's people all the way back before time was time. I call upon my Father and my Father's people all the way back before time was time. I call upon my Father and my Father's people all the way back before time was time. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And just notice what presents for you. Hmm. Thank you. Wende Yaho, Wende Yaho, Wende Ya, Wende Ya, Wo ho ho ho, hey Yaho, hey Yaho, ya ya ya. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as our container has expanded even more, we start to come to the core of the center of this space where our intention wants to lie. It's like we're planting our seed of intention in this beautiful space in the center of our container. It's this ball of light. It's this, the light of all that is, this divine glowing light. And within this light, you can plant the seed of your intention and see how it expands, it expands, it expands as we dive into this journey. So as we have connected with our guides, we've connected with our father lineage, our mother lineage, and we bring this all forward and we set the intention now in this divine light of what we want more clarity on, what we want awareness on, what we're ready to let go of. What aspect of ourselves are still holding on? Or perhaps there's another way you want to present this intention or another type of intention that you're bringing forward. Perhaps it's more around, why can't I let go of this pattern? Underneath that is the aspect of ourselves that wants to stay in safety, security, comfort. Ooh, yeah. So holding space, thinking about what your intention is, and when you are ready to start to plant that seed of intention so it can expand, expand, expand through this container with all your loved ones around to help support, to gain this clarity. Because we know as we heal ourselves, we heal our lineages, we heal all of humanity. We heal our spirit team. We're all in this together. So your ancestors are here because they want to be healed as well. And they want to support you and give you the love that they may not have been able to give you while living, or even while still living now, but they are not in a space to be able to present in their core essence. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as this intention is starting to expand, I'm noticing, wow. Oh my gosh, I'm noticing a council of grandmothers and a council of grandfathers coming together. They're surrounding the circle. And as they are surrounding the circle, some of them are in prayer. Some of them are playing instruments, drums or rattles. Some of them are singing. Some of them are shaking or swaying. But each of them are here for us in this container to help us gain clarity or bring awareness or to let go of what we want to let go of what we want more clarity on. So as we are in this container, look around at this council. Look around and see who is calling your name, who your heart feels connected to right now, and start to walk towards that grandparent. It could be one of your grandparents. It could be a celestial or a spiritual grandparent that we are connecting with from this council. But just turn around, look around and see what direction your heart desires to go in. See what grandparent comes forward. Is it a grandfather? Is it a grandmother? Is it your own from this lifetime? Perhaps it's one from another lifetime. Perhaps it's one from the divine councils of grandfathers or grandmothers. Perhaps it's the earth council of divine grandmothers or grandfathers. There's many different kinds of grandparent councils. Some of you are being called to go into the earth, into the telluric realms, to connect with the grandparents. Some of you are being called to go more on a cosmic level, celestial level, to connect with the grandparents. Others are being called to stay on the earth plane here and connect with a grandparent from your lineage in this lifetime. Notice where you're being taken. And as you are connecting with this grandparent, share your intention with them. It's like you're confiding in them. And as you connect, the council is saying to all of us, the reason why we're still experiencing this is because there's more for us to learn. There's more for us to discover within ourselves. There are deeper places to go within. And you can ask the grandparent you are with, help me to go deeper. Show me, show me, show me what I'm not seeing within myself. The song I sang was a Cherokee morning song. It's about carrying the water, going to get the water and carrying it to the people. The grandparents are bringing that forward. They're asking us to carry the water. Carrying that water is us doing our work, staying committed to being in truth, being committed to supporting ourselves and others, being a person of love, emanating our true light and love to the world, taking responsibility. Yes. Yeah, that's a good one. That the grandparents are really happy about that word. Woo. Ah. So you may be handed a pail of water. You may be handed just the bucket and having to go to the water. Many of you are having to go to the water. If you are in the earth, there are sacred waters everywhere. If you're on the cosmic level, connect with the frequency of water and you will see water arise and appear for you. If you're on the earth plane, you may be called to a certain source of water, one that's fond to you and your ancestors. And notice if the grandparents are asking you to do something with the water. Some are wanting you to pour it all over you. Others are being called to pour it into a space. Others are being called to drink it, to bathe in it. See what you were called to do. And notice if the sacred waters are communicating with you. Perhaps the water is being called to go to the spot in the body where you felt resistance as you were feeling your heartbeat. Perhaps it's the spot where you felt some sensations when we were tuning into our intention or tuning into our ancestors. Wow, I'm noticing for some of you, the water is about reharmonizing your waters within. So it's connected to the body elemental, the physical body as well. Reharmonizing the waters within. Your grandparents are either asking you to put the pail down or the bucket down, or to carry the water with you throughout your day, throughout your week, perhaps through this next eclipse, perhaps through till the next solar eclipse in April. Notice if they're asking you to have an empty bucket or to continue to carry the waters. For many of you, it's about holding this water frequency, tuning into it, connecting with it, bathing in it, so you can realign the waters within. And having this harmonic water frequency within is going to help you to eliminate toxins in the body. Oh, it's like magical healing energy that can be moved into any place in the body. So if you are having symptoms in a certain area, they're saying to bring some of this water, place some of this water right on that location on the body. You can do an overall bathing, but they're also saying give extra love to particular areas. Yeah, and they're saying that this being with the waters right now, especially the waters that they brought forward for you, helps to not only heal this ancestral lineage, but it's to help support all the past wounding that's coming up. It helps to clear it out. It helps to not make it as intense, that the feelings are still arising so they can be cleared out, but it doesn't have to be massive blow-ups or intensity. It's bringing in more grace and ease. Yeah. And right now, it's presenting the ways you are holding back, the aspects of yourself that want to hold on, that want to stay locked down, that wants to stay in this matrix, stay in this pattern, stay in this limiting belief, whatever it is that you are holding on to, even though you want something different. Okay, and for many, it's it's around, what they're saying is what it's around is watching the ways you try to soothe and comfort yourself, because you're actually in avoidance. That these feelings are starting to come up, these releases are starting to happen, but then there's a self-sabotage that happens that's not even conscious. It happens through things like getting distracted, being busy, eating too much, having disruptive behaviors as your pattern, being inauthentic in relationships, people pleasing, controlling, whatever it is. That all of that is connected to the ways of you not wanting to let go. So it's even paying attention to the subtle behaviors, the subtle nuances in our lives of how we live our lives. How you numb yourself out. Oh, wow. For some of you, that's food. For some of you, that's a substance. For some of you, that's staying busy and being distracted. Some of you, it's avoiding being in connected relationships. All these patterns are all connected to how you're still holding on. Because underneath that is liberation. The grandparents are asking that you continue to do your work and connect with the waters, that they showed you the place to go. So you can always, always come back to that in your meditations, in the ways that you connect within. You can always spend time doing that. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It gets to show up in any way it does for you, however you connect. Ah, there we go. And that speaking truth thing, that was a collective experience for all of us, that we are pulling something out right now out of the throats. There's like a black, it's like a black device of some sort that's getting pulled out of the throat. For some of you, it's like a black coating that's lined in the throat. For others of you, it's like, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's like in pieces. So if you're noticing resistance, bring yourself back into your heartbeat. Because when you're back in the heart, a lot of times the yes will come forward to allow this to be removed. Good. Everyone has the yes. I'm feeling a yes for everyone now for this to get removed. This was the Dark Lord. Yep. Okay, good. So it's time. It's time for liberation. It's time for acceleration. The word has been spoken. Okay. Good. It's getting cleared out very quickly because this Dark Lord was ready for it to be done. Dissolving any agreements to keep this locked down. Any agreements you had with this Dark Lord. It's getting dissolved. Dissolved, dissolved, dissolved right now. Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. And now you're being called to drink those sacred waters that you have been connecting with to clear out this road, any leftover struggling energy to clear out this road. Wow, this is spreading throughout the entire body. Awesome. Now we can start to reclaim aspects of ourself that have been casted out. So imagine echoing your name into the universe 360 degrees. And those soul pieces, those energies, your energies that are casted out are coming back into the body as you echo your name, whatever name you're called to use, your full name, a given name, a maiden name, a chosen name, whatever it is. Awesome. And as that's happening, the aspect of yourself that wanted to hold on is feeling much more comfortable. Like there's a big yes to reconnect, to reunite, to go deeper, to expand. A lot of expansive energy in the heart and in the solar plexus right now. Welcome home, welcome home, welcome home. Echoing your name 360 degrees around the earth plane. Yep, there's some aspects of yourself coming back in now. Some soul pieces. Some of your fragmented energy coming back in. If you feel like you left some of your consciousness at work yesterday or today, claim it back, call it back into you. If you were having a conversation with someone this morning and you feel like your energy's still there with that conversation, call it back into you right now as we're in the 3D. This is your calling back your energy from the 3D, from the earth plane. If you had relations with someone recently, call your energy back into you. Yeah, good. And 360 degrees into the earth plane, or into the earth, sorry, into the earth, into the earth. For some of you, that includes the underworlds as well. Echoing your name 360 degrees. Good. Your perineum is getting activated with that one. Yes. And the active perineum means that you can easily connect with Pachamama. Yeah, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now it's claiming your body. This is my body. I get to choose who comes in my body. I get to choose what goes out. This is a space around my body. I get to choose what energies I allow in and out. And as you are doing this, the grandparent councils, the Grand Council of Grandfathers, the Council of Grandmothers are starting to depart. Some of your ancestors are wanting to stay with you, not because they're trying to hold on, but because they want to continue to work with you throughout the day. Oh, some of you, the grandparent wants to stay too. And as you go through your day, you can always call on your entourage, your spirit team, to help clear up any loose energy, any energy that's still kind of lingering. Good. And there's just something coming out of the back of the neck when we go into that. It's like a hook coming out. Yep. Good. Now your spirit team has you. Your entourage has you. Good. Good, good, good. They've finished clearing all that up. Taking a few breaths. And as you start to breathe, you're coming back into this physical space. Coming back into our container in a more conscious way, in a more, let's say, 3D way right now. A few more breaths before we start to share and end the activation. Okay. When you're ready, you want to start to come back on screen, or if you are still altered, you're welcome to stay off screen. You're welcome to just listen in and stay off screen, or if there's something you'd like to share, this is a good time as well to share. Ah. Yeah. Ah. Destin and Edna, how you guys doing?
Very emotional it was. I'm good.
I think it's that ancestor stuff that's being pulled up in you that's really, it's going to start pinging you a little bit.
Yeah. The bear
He's in
came
town.
to, we went to the bottom of the earth in a crevice close to the earth in the dark in the creek, in a little creek, and did some cleansing. So thank you.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Cool. Connect with your animals today. That's what they're saying. Connect with the animals. Let them give you lots and lots of love. They see you.
And thanks for the Cherokee morning song.
Absolutely.
I
Yeah, Destin, you had something?
Actually, I was feeling a lot. I was feeling a lot there, so. And you've been saying for quite some time that that's what's kind of happening. But I guess I didn't get it to this degree until now. So I'm grateful. And I feel like I do need to see what happened with their goal. I mean, this energy that was there, this energy that was there is not mine.
Wow, to discover that. Wow.
Not mine.
So you can return to sender or ask the sender to come and take it back.
Ask sender to bring it back.
Yeah. So
Take it
let's say
back.
it's father's energy. Let's say you discover, okay, this is dad's energy. Call dad's higher levels forward. I know higher level isn't necessarily like, because then we're thinking linear, but it's not how it is, right? But call your father's higher levels forward. So that way you're seeing him from more of a true essence, and ask him to take it back, pull it out of you, take the energy back. It's no longer yours to carry. And you'd be surprised a lot of times when that happens, it even goes deep further back down the lineage. And that just starts to get pulled out and cleared up.
When do you have is there a schedule for your private sessions?
Yeah, I can email you. Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. I do private sessions online, or if you're in Denver, I do them in person. And I also teach an energy tracking clinic a couple times a month that just helps us to track the energy. So all those energies I was explaining, we go into how to track them. And there's some powerful trackers on this call right now, and play in those levels all the time. And the other thing is, I really want to encourage you to go to the planetary encodement activation. Each facilitator offers a free gift every month. This is mine, right? So I like the energy clearing. I like to hold space and help us to come to deeper levels of awareness. And I love to help clear that out for people. Ray Ellen is a very, very talented astrologist. And we're saying the second Monday of the month, I think, Sherry, right? Second Monday of the month, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Mountain Time. So 5 p.m. Pacific. What is that? 6 p.m. Eastern. Wait, I'm getting it wrong. 3 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Mountain.
Yes. Yeah.
6 p.m. Eastern. And it's free. And she's like an astrology oracle, I would say, where she tunes into what the energies are going on planetarily and in the astrological realms. But she also gives really powerful insights of how it's impacting us. So if you have a chance, it's free on the second Mondays of the month. And it's planetary encodement. Yeah, sure. You had something to add to that?
The second Monday starts in December. November's still the 3rd.
Okay, because of Thanksgiving, all the holiday breaks and stuff.
Yeah.
So that one, just check it out on the on Light Body Academy under store, the tab that's a store. You'll see the free events, and then you'll also see, and then our lovely elemental expert Laurel also does a Sasquatch support group, which is so powerful for people who really connect with that Sasquatch energy. And that is free, and I can't even remember the times. So if you don't worry, you can check out on the website.
It's 6 p.m. Pacific, so 7 p.m. Mountain.
Okay, on like a Wednesday or something.
On Wednesday's the first Wednesday and the third Wednesday, I believe.
Yeah, so those are very powerful. We each also teach classes if you're really interested in starting to dive into tracking this energy more and learning how to do more of the way we do the multidimensional level energy work. We offer a core curriculum. It's called the Essentials, Light Body Essentials, and it's like a very low-key way to get introduced and get started. And in January, we're offering all these new exciting opportunities. I'll be diving a lot more into ancestral offerings. And we'll be doing some more one-off classes as well as more programs. So lots to come. And as we are just amping up, right? We're showing up deeper and deeper and deeper. So even as a team, we have to show up even deeper and deeper. So we're just going in more and more and more. And we're trying to bring out more for folks because that's the call right now, is to do the work. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Love you. Love you. Love you. I'm going to stop the recording